We've been asked if we can install this fuse board. Absolutely no problem. So let's start off by making up the frame for the fuse board to go in. Marked up the ply, and then we've got the chippy to cut it because they've got all them fancy tools to make sure it's a nice clean cut. And I need a bit of 50 by 50 batten to batten it off the wall to allow the cables to come in the back. Cut the batten to length, and then we add a bit of chippy work, screwing it all together. As easy as that. Now it's time to get the cables in the right places and cut down to length. Once all the prep work's done, it's time to start prepping the fuse board, taking the cover off, and what I do every single time is completely gut it. It's so much easier to work with an empty fuse board. Knock the back knockouts out, one hit wonder, straight through, and then it was time to mount the fuse board, making sure it was nice and level. We've got 25mm armoured going in this. It was squeaky bum time, drilling out the 32 to a 25. As we always say, no problems, just solutions. We glanded off the armoured, and then it was time to get it into the board. Armoured all in, shroud up, don't forget to earth the banjo. Bolt always on the outside. As it go on the outside? Because there's less chance of any cables catching it. And now it's time to put a little bit of heat shrink onto the cables to identify them as earth and neutral. This is a double stack. We need to bring them behind the first DIN rail, so we'll put a little bend in it to bring them up. And now all the cables are in place, time to start stripping them back. And we always start off with the earth. Earth's done, and then we leave a little bit of slack behind the DIN rail because the next man in 30 years time is going to appreciate it, trust me. If you've ever wondered why a fuse board costs so much, this is 250 quid in breakers. Box all the breakers, get them clipped on. We always start with the heaviest load first and then work our way down. Just something I've always been taught. Now, time to terminate the cables into the top of the breakers, live and neutral, as simple as that. Make sure there's no copper showing in the terminals. Now we've got the top fuse board looking absolutely sexy. We did make one mistake though, the neutral. We forgot to put the neutral fly lead in, so we're gonna have to shift all them down to put them in properly. Don't worry, even the professionals make silly mistakes sometimes. Once all the cables were in, we went round and make sure all the terminals were nice and tight, and that was the finished fuse board, looking absolutely pucker. Oh, you forgot the blanks. Have a day off, will ya?